doom, 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 doomy, doomy, doom, 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 doomy, doomy, doom, 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 doomy, doomy, doom, 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 doomy, doom, doom, doomy, doom, 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 doom. The end.
Have you been singing that the entire time?
Just the abridged version.
Bobby, it's been 2 weeks.
Exactly. It's not the 6 month version. It's the 2 week version.
Have you done your homework for this episode?
Yeah. Luckily, I've done it before.
Okay. Welcome everyone to Cult Classic Society, the podcast where I, Tim Martini, and my friend Bobby Davis,
Hello.
we talk about movies, music, games, books, all of that good stuff.
And
And today,
Doom. Sorry.
and Bobby sings about Doom for 2 weeks. Well, I was going to ask how you've been, but you've clearly been busy.
Yes. Well, I have been able to do other stuff while singing the Doom song. I started playing Fallout London. It's very good fun.
It's finally out after
Months of waiting,
years.
years. Yeah, they take you straight to my old haunts in Bromley. Literally, the base of the first gang you meet, they take you to their base, and it is in the pub that I used to drink in, the Swan and Mitre in Bromley North. It's weird, but cool.
Is it as run down as Bromley normally is?
Bromley's, if anything, is getting too nice. It used to be a bit grubbier, and they're all gentrified now.
So it's not accurate anymore.
No, no, that would be if a bomb hit it, I suppose.
Well, today we are talking about the Talking Heads. They're a new wave band from the 1970s and formed of four people: David Byrne, the singer, Chris France, the drums, and his partner Tina Weymouth on the bass, and Jerry Harrison. They are, I would say they're quite well known. I feel like a lot of their music is used a lot in pop culture. Would you agree?
No, no, I completely disagree. No, of course. I've heard quite a few of the songs that I listened to this time around. No, I think about three or four, but some of them I really knew really well. So it's one of those
Yeah.
things. There's like two tracks I was like, oh, I know this song really well. This is a classic. I've watched stuff like Life on Mars and Ashes to Ashes, and they've definitely featured in that. And again, I used to work in a record store, and it was off. Their Talking Heads were often put on.
Yeah, like I remember like hearing quite a few of their songs through The Simpsons actually.
Really?
Yeah, in one of the Halloween episodes is when they do Psycho Killer.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
Burning Down the House, that's always featured, I find. And weirdly Swamp and two, well actually all three of those songs we'll be talking about
Yeah, we'll talk
today.
about them all at some point. I will say that with the Simpsons Halloween episodes, and this is going to sound like sacrilege to some people, they're often the ones that on rewatches I jump past.
Oh really?
Yeah, not all of them are good. Everyone says they're all brilliant, and they're not. Some of them are amazing, and I'll never skip. And some
Yeah.
of them are like, eh.
I think in comparison to like later seasons, they are like the best part of that season.
Yeah, that is a yeah. I suppose if you're gonna go on a what do you call it, like a graph and plot
Yeah.
the quality of series 13 through to 28 or whatever, or no 30, and then
We're 34 now.
apparently the last couple have been decent. I've still not had a look, but yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't had to watch myself. But enough about Simpsons. We got to stop talking about Simpsons for once. We're going to talk
Never.
about. We're going to talk about their fifth album. I said the third
What?
album. The
No,
last
never.
episode.
Sorry.
This is Speaking in Tongues, and this was released on June 1st, 1983, and it is considered their most popular album. It has like most of their biggest hits on there.
I think when I listened to this, there was only one I knew at all. I knew more from the live thing we're going to get onto later.
Yeah.
But I looked on, when I listened to this, I listened to it on Spotify, and This Must Be the Place is one of their most popular, most played songs, and definitely the most played song on this album. And
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard it.
Yeah, It's one of the most pop. It's one of their most popular songs, but it's not one of the most like mainstream songs.
Not yet, hasn't broken into pop culture at all.
Yeah, but this one, their first song on this album, "Burning Down the House," it is actually their only top 10 single on the US top 100 billboards ever.
Oh, really? That's surprising. I
Yeah,
suppose they didn't
it
do
peaked
better
at
than that.
number 9.
So this is their second most played song on this album.
Yeah.
250 million listens. That's still like a quarter of what This Must Be the Place has. And I was really surprised because this is a song that I know and it's a banger.
Yeah, it's honestly like one of my favorite songs like they've done, and for good reason. It's just like a nice little like party song, really.
It's a great song. My only criticism with it is I don't know if it's on the mix or on this version or whatever. I found it really tough to decipher what he was saying in some of it. It was easier on the live one to
Yeah,
decipher some of what he's saying, and I was like, okay, like especially the verses, the choruses, not so the choruses
yeah,
is something that's like in the zeitgeist in the pop culture, but some of the verses I was like, okay, I don't know what he's saying.
yeah. Because well, when you compare it to like the live version as well, he's more high pitched on this one. So I think
Yeah,
his voice goes too much in the high register and mixes in with like the synth keyboard.
yeah, it's one of their. It's more rocky than I was expecting straight away. There's quite a heavy guitar bit in it.
Yeah.
I
So
knew I
they
know I know them as more of a synth band, so to hear something quite rocky straight off the bat, I was like, oh yeah,
they're normally quite described as like a mix of everything because they like to mix in a bit of soul, a bit of rock, a bit of like funk in it with everything.
yeah, a bit of that genre terrorism we've been speaking about
Yeah.
occasionally.
But like I also just like love like because it's like a four-person group, you do hear like all of their instruments being brought to the forefront. Like Tina Weymouth on the bass, I you can actually hear the bass.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. It's a very good mix. Apart, like I said, I don't know if it's the mix for the vocals, but we listened to the remix version. No, not the remix.
Yeah,
The remastered
the
version.
remastered version, which are the only versions available on Spotify.
Yeah, and it's like the burning down the house. The chorus is a hell of a hook, and it kind of gets
Yeah,
stuck in your head. So I did. I listened to the album first, and then took. I don't think I watched the live one until 2 days later. And this was the song that I like, despite being the first one and listening to a whole other album after. This is the song that
yeah,
stayed in my head.
yeah. That burning down the house, it just sticks in your head.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so catchy.
Everybody, get in line. Nothing can come between us. Nothing gets you down. Nothing strikes your fancy.
But then we move on to the second song, Making Flippy Floppy.
Now, from the title, I immediately just assumed this was about sex. But my notes on it aren't even about the song. Because note one is flip flops are the worst thing in the world. Anyone who wears them needs to be shot. They make a horrible sound. They get grim like the first time you wear them. They get dirty and then you get dirty. No, they're just grim. Like, and my second
I
note,
agree.
and my second note is the line "No one makes a monkey out of me." Really, just that phrase again just
Yeah.
reminds me of The Simpsons. He's trying to make a monkey out of you.
So like I focused on the line, "Our president's crazy." Did you hear what he said? It's like you could just use that for any president.
Yeah, minus Obama, I think, in the last kind of 30 or 40 years. Yeah.
Yeah, compared to every other one, he was like the most normal.
Oh yeah, by a mile. By a fucking mile. I liked at first. At first, I was like, I'm going to find this jarring for a whole song, but actually, the way the lines are delivered in this, he kind of stops for a beat at the end of every line.
Yeah,
So it's like a
yeah,
with the vocals. And at first, I was like, I don't like this. I don't think. And then by the end of the song, it had massively grown on me. And I actually listened to it again,
yeah,
going, no, no, no. It really works with the structure of this song. But at first, I found it. I think what I didn't like about it is I found it too noticeable. And sometimes when
yeah,
something sticks out in a song, I'm like, that needs to kind of come back down in the mix, kind of come back down
yeah.
in the writing. But actually, no, it worked for this song.
No, absolutely. And what I love as well with the chorus, the lyrics are completely different each time. Like it's
I
the
hadn't,
same rhythm, but it's the same. Yeah, it's just different lyricism.
then it's not a chorus, it's just a different verse.
What
Tell me I'm
is
wrong.
it?
Tell me I'm wrong. They're just two different verses with different structures.
So it's just like 10 verses in one song.
Yeah, basically. If all the choruses are different, they're no longer choruses. It means chorus literally means they're the same.
But one thing I noticed by this song was, or what I already noticed by this song was, almost every song on this album has a minute outro of just instrumentals.
Oh yeah, and some of them, I don't know if this is again on the remastered version. Some of them don't start for like 5 or 6 seconds of silence at the beginning.
Yeah, that's just intentional
Yeah.
on their part.
Presumably it's for when you played it as a 12-inch record and it let
Yeah,
everything die down and give you a moment's silence before starting up again.
gives you a moment of reflection.
I got a girlfriend that's better than that. She has a smoke in her eye. She's coming up, going right through my heart. She's gonna give me surprise.
But then we move on to Girlfriend is Better, which again it's just like and just another like boom 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 just moving like there's it's kind of like how with Real Big Fish it's like no slowdown yet. It's just all like go go
No,
go.
it's kind of that same tempo. They kind of match it all the way through. There's a few notes I had on this song. There's a bit that's like a car alarm, and it's fucking jarring. It's just like where, and I'm like, oh no, that irritates me. And there's a line. He says something about something going on down in the basement. I was like, why is your girlfriend in the basement? What's going on?
It's like down in the basement we hear the sounds of machines. Like, what's happening there? What's your girlfriend doing?
Why is she down there? What are the machines? Then this might be my least favorite song on here. I don't know how you feel about it. One, I found the car alarm thing slightly jarring. Two, I think musically it sounds the same all the way through.
Yeah,
So he delivers the verses and chorus differently in terms of his vocals, but the music doesn't really change.
yeah, it's the same
It's like a
kind
drop.
of.
It's like a loop, like all the
Yeah.
way through.
So I do like this song. Like I was gonna like I'm gonna go into more detail about it when we get to the movie, but I feel like once I hear the live version of it, I find those versions to be better.
Yeah.
So when I listen to this song, I don't listen to this version. I listen to the live version more.
Okay. That's interesting. There's a few songs like that with me as well, like not from this album,
Yeah.
obviously, but in with other bands. The Real Big Fish and Suburban Rhythm. The live version is
Yeah.
much better because there's like 8 versions. Come on. There's also
I
a
was gonna
sound
say,
at the
like-
end of this that sounds like a TARDIS dematerializing, like but a broken TARDIS. So
Let's say like David Byrne, he's really good at like emoting with his vocals, but he's really good at making himself sound confused. Is the best way to say it.
you sure he just wasn't stoned the entire time?
He could have been. He absolutely could have been. But also, I just love like the different uses of like synth that they have throughout this entire album as well.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like there is a good range in tone, and they clearly don't lock themselves into a particular set of instruments or anything like that.
Yeah,
There's extra percussion on a lot of them.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's
they
cool.
all do perform like with different instruments. Even like David like will mess around with like the synth keyboard and everything. He's not just there singing. As you see in the live album, he opens it with a guitar, so he does do everything.
I see his face. Don't play no games. Love from the bottom to the top. Turn like a wheel. See for yourself. We're gonna move. Turn like a wheel.
But then we move on to Slippery People, which honestly has like just a nice like bass and drum combo to start the album.
It's a bit of a reggae beat, you know.
Yeah,
This is literally my note for this. What I just said, they use a lot of instruments, and I quite like this one. One, it feels I like an album. I don't need a song to really like have a jarring change in tone, but enough of a change in tone to go, oh, what's this? What's going on?
yeah,
And this is cool. again, as someone who likes ska and reggae, it does have that kind of vibe, that kind of beat. And
Yeah.
then you get what sounds almost like a gospel choir in the background.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. Like a nice setup, a nice hearing that kind of mix of 80s new wave and synth mixed with something a bit reggae and a bit choral. I was like, this is interesting. And yeah, I vibed with it for sure.
Yeah, I feel like this is like one of the best like songs on the album, personally.
It's one of my favorites, yeah, and not one I'd heard before either.
I think one of my favorite things is like during like the bridge, you see like Dave like doing some like scatting on the on the mic as well, just singing gibberish.
Yeah, I mean, scat can be good or it can be bad, but there is only one master, and that is the scat man. Don't ever forget that.
What Scatman Jones?
The you know the song I'm a scat man.
Scatman. Don't forget Abs and Bibelo appearing on the podcast.
Oh God, yeah. I
And,
forgot he was a fan.
and then I get Wild Gravity.
Wild Mavity.
Oh yeah, sorry. I say the song in itself just remind me of Ghost Town by the Specials.
You know what? I hadn't thought of it when you said it, and the second you just said that, I can hear that for sure.
Yeah.
And also the kind of the content of some of the lyrics is very in that same vein.
Yeah.
Because one of the lines I noted down is somewhere in South Carolina and gravity don't mean a thing. And my only question was, is it because they're Hicks? They don't believe in gravity.
They don't believe in gravity or that the Earth is a sphere. They think it's flat.
Yeah. And I won't go into some of the other things because,
Yeah.
we have some people in America who listen and watch this, and I don't want to offend too many people. I'll offend some,
Yeah.
but not
We don't know
everyone.
we don't know what state they're from, so we're gonna be safe.
No, what is it? I don't know. We don't get seen that. We don't see this on the stats. We don't.
We only see country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've this is the album like I don't really remember the most about, to be honest. Like the one
interesting.
song.
Oh, this song. Sorry, I thought
Yeah.
when you said the album, I was like, oh, this
Yeah,
is
so
interesting
I
that you chose this.
misspoke, yeah. No, like, this is the one song I like don't remember most about, to be honest.
It's got a little bit of a reggae vibe to it as well, but I'd say it's
Yeah.
still got more synth than Slippery People. But
Yeah.
I do love their willingness to tamper with genre.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite things. A genre mix-up is one of my favourite things. I've spoken about Sonic Boom 6. There's also another band called the La Fontaines. They're a Scottish indie punk / hip-hop band, and they're fucking banging.
I remember the name on the Storm, right?
Yes, we named one of the Purpose shows after one of their songs, and it's a fucking banger. And you tell everyone, Tim, that song is a banger.
It is a banger, I can't deny it. Then we move on to Swamp, which is weirdly one of my favorite. It's like my second favorite song on the album.
It starts a bit like status quo-y,
Yeah,
but then kind of divulges into more of a country / like rhythm and blues, bluegrass type feel.
I said with the lyrics, it kind of reminded me like I would see someone at like Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park saying this exact same thing.
But with like bluegrass instrumental, but with a wah-wah guitar behind, right?
Yeah. It has to be exactly like that.
It is. It's another like kind of playing with the genre, because I do think, I don't know who wrote the guitar bit for this, but they were clearly inspired by a country style.
Yeah.
But then instead of just leaving it like a country song, they put a wah-wah like pedal on it, and that's
Yeah.
very 80s. Well, 60s as well, but like, kind of people like Hendrix and that would love a wah-wah. But throwing that
Yeah.
over the top of a country song is quite different.
Yeah, because I know like Dave Byrne, like his whole thing was they never really wanted their music to be commercial friendly is the best way to put it. It was all just about artistic expression.
Yeah.
So he always like wanted to figure out, okay, how can we like change things around
Very
and like
wanky.
combine
Yes.
things? Yeah, very wanky. Yes.
If they were around today, they would be a total hipster band for sure.
Oh, absolutely. But then people will love them because they're different.
Yeah, exactly. He would be like king of the hipsters if he was like young today.
Oh, he's still king of the hipsters even now. People still love David Byrne.
That's true. I suppose everyone calls Robert Smith the king of the goths, and he was banging out his emo goth tunes well before goth was even a thing.
Oh yeah, like so. I think David would still find his place here. I noted down a specific line in here because it made me think of you. It's just a bit where David goes Pika Pika. I was like, calm down, Bobby.
Hey. Pikachu is one stupid little electric rat, right? He is. He may be the mascot of Pokemon, but
He's not
Just a-
your mascot.
no, evolve him, turn him into the orange boy, and he's much better. Either that or get Sirfetch'd on the covers of everything, because Sirfetch'd is the man.
Also, I noted that this was the first song that doesn't have an outro. It just fades out with the chorus.
Like a looping fade, isn't it?
Yeah. With the high, 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 high.
That's really typical of the 70s and 80s, and you don't see it as much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a fade out. It's almost like we don't know how to stop.
Yeah.
Just fade this out.
You notice like a lot of 70s and even 80s, like Michael Jackson's Beat It ends on a fade out.
Yeah, just saying beat it over and over again.
Yeah. It's like, please stop this crazy train. Help. Do you know how to stop this song?
Just push him over, fade the music out.
Go on, give it a chance. Give it a chance. Give it a chance. I saw your hair start to curl. So get up and write it down.
Then we have Moon Rocks, which starts with David just shivering on the mic.
Now, is moon rocks slang for like crack or meth? Because it feels like it is.
Yeah, I think Moon Rocks is definitely slang for crack.
Yeah, and then he's like all shivery on the fucking mic. He's like,
Yeah.
Are you on a come down now? What's going on, bruv?
That was like, cause like you made that connection, and then I was like, these lyrics are completely nonsensical. Just like he's clearly high and just like noting things down.
So, a few things I noticed about this. They actually do the most Scar thing in the world, which is they play the guitar on the offbeat on an upstroke.
Yeah,
That's Scar 101, right? And then so they clearly have a lot of like reggae and Scar influences, especially from the middle to the back end of the album. That's the third song that sounds like this with that kind of bass, that kind of guitar.
yeah.
And then I've written here, I really like this, but why is he shuddering like Mr. Burns? Because he sounds like, you know when Mr. Burns is like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's something he just likes to do. He just likes to make noises on the mic.
yeah. Then he talks about flying saucers, like, oh, a bit of a sci-fi jam. And then he says, the man on the moon and the moon in the man. I was like, no, I've
Man,
lost,
yeah.
you've lost me. You've lost me now, David.
You had me with a Tom DeLonge, and now you lost me.
I've actually said at the end of the song, by the end of my notes, this song I said, Tim, can you explain what any of this means?
No, I wish I could, but I cannot.
Because I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I was
It's
like, I don't know what's
David
going on.
Byrne. You can't extract meaning from this man.
Going together again. I could be right. I could be wrong. I feel nice when I sing this song. And I don't mind.
But then we have Pull Up the Roots, which... So I had to look up what people interpret this song as, because I was really confused by it. And people interpret this song as about a narrator taking drugs.
Oh, see, so musically it sounds very messy, right?
Yeah.
But it is and it isn't. It's made to sound messy when actually the structure of the song is very sound in terms of where the music hits the beats and where you hear the
Yeah.
guitar and the bass. It's meant to sound messy. But what I actually thought from just listening to it, I didn't look up what any of the songs were supposed to be about. I just kind of, from my interpretation, it felt more about like social disorder,
Yeah.
i.e., like, and then he uses the line, "I don't mind some slight disorder," which kind of was what kind of triggered it. I thought this is kind of about the idea of like because they're clearly non-conformist in terms of even music. So this is the
Yeah.
idea is that they're breaking structure, and then they're talking about like societal structure as well. I thought clearly got that completely wrong, but that was my interpretation.
I mean, my interpretation of it is like it gave me like Footloose vibes, as in like the whole party to enjoy life kind of thing, like break
Okay.
out, enjoy life. So almost like not like obviously punky, but the idea like, well, if everything's shit, enjoy, like just have fun, enjoy life kind of thing.
That yeah, the pop punk philosophy.
Yes.
So what is it? Emo is like the world is shit and I am sad. Goth is
Yeah.
like the world is shit and I am angry. Pop
Yeah.
punk is like the world is shit. Let's have a pizza and do some skateboarding, right?
Yeah. It's a spectrum.
Yeah, yeah. It's the spectrum of how you react to the world being shit.
Exactly, exactly.
Home is where I want to be. Pick me up and turn me round. I feel numb, born with a weak heart. I guess I must be having fun.
And then we have the final song, This Must Be the Place, Naive Melody. So,
So-
I looked this up, what David himself said about this song.
Okay.
And he says, it's a love song made completely up of non sequiturs, phrases that may have a strong emotional resonance, but don't have any narrative qualities. It's a real honest love song. I don't think I've ever done a real love song before. Mine always had a sort of reservation or a twist. I tried to write one that wasn't corny and didn't sound stupid or lame like many do. I think we succeeded.
So he got like a book of idioms, went to the section about relationship and loves, and just
Yes.
jotted them down. I wrote here I could actually barely understand what he's saying for most of it.
Yeah.
This it's the most played song on the album. I don't think I've ever heard it. But I love that there's a little melody underneath on an organ and a xylophone. I don't know why. I found that adorable.
Yes. That reserves to so actually again that refers to the naive melody, which is framed on a sparse ostentino rhythm.
Oh, well, when you said naive, I just assumed you meant it was like childlike because they're playing a xylophone.
No, they literally meant the melody that they play is naive in the sense that it's just a simple one that repeats
Yeah, yeah.
over and over. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm going to stick with my childlike things.
I also think this was just a very almost like sort of relaxing song to end the album to.
Yeah, so it doesn't go out with a bang, does it? It goes out with a sigh and a deep breath.
Yeah. Which I think after like all of the manicness from the entire album, I think this one was like the one that's go,
Yeah, agreed. I think so. I wrote just a note at the end of the album, which is I find Burns' vocals to be somewhere between Morrissey and Robert Smith,
yeah, I can agree to that.
and I fucking hate Morrissey's vocals. So he's lucky he pushes towards Robert Smith because I love Robert Smith. I don't think Morrissey doesn't even sing; he talks. He talks in slight rhythm. Like it's shit. And come at me, Morrissey fans. Come at me, Smiths fans. Some of my best friends are obsessed, like love the Smiths, and I don't care. He also gives a shit like a wank name to vegetarians, so you can get in the bin. But on that album, I love "Burning Down the House." Great song. I'd heard it. That's one that
Yeah.
I've heard a ton of times before. "Slippery People," really good. Really enjoyed that. That was cool. Again, I liked getting Wild Gravity. That was a good song. And then, what was the other one? I did notice. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, the Moonrocks one that was almost nonsensical. Despite
Yeah.
it making no fucking sense, I enjoyed the song as a whole. Even if I have no idea what's going on.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed this album. Honestly, I think it's honestly spectacular. Like even if I didn't, because I honestly consider it to be like an almost perfect album. There are like maybe like some elements of songs I don't like, and that might just be because compared to the live version, I think the live version ends up doing it better. But I think,
Yeah, for sure.
but I think with what they set out to do is just to make just like a weird genre clash. they succeeded.
I mean, there's a song. I mean, actively, I don't think I really like "Girlfriend Is Better" at all. And then there's other
Yeah.
elements to some of them that I'm like, nah, oh, that bit's not for me, but this bit of the song's good. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, overall, it's a good album. And "Burning Down the House," I would say like, oh, that's the thing that would end up on my playlist, but actually, it does come up on my suggested stuff sometimes and gets added, so it's already been there.
Your Spotify algorithm knows what's best for you. But after the success of this album in 1984, they went on tour. And for this tour, for 4 nights in the Hollywood's Pantages Theatre, they filmed Stop Making Sense. And this was directed by noted director Jonathan Demme, who you might have known for Silence of the Lambs.
Yes, when I saw his name come up, I was like, I know that name.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you, I couldn't place it, but I knew the name.
Yeah. And this has been wildly considered the greatest concert movie of all time, to the point that last year, A24 was able to find the original master and do a 4K re-release.
Nice. I will tell you my standings on that at the end of like how what I think about it being the greatest. But let's just talk about it. Let's just take it as we go.
It's no Blink-182 at Coachella.
It's very different. I don't even think they could be compared for a lot of reasons.
Yeah. So the film opens up to complete silence as all the participants' names appear on screen, and then a shadow appears and it tracks the feet of a man, and he goes onto the stage with a boombox and he introduces a song, and camera pans up and it's David Byrne playing Psycho Killer.
So a few things on this straight away. One, I was like, why the fuck does this look like? You know the scene in Back to the Future where Marty's on the stage? So it looks
Yeah.
like that. I was like, this is filmed in a different way to any other live concert video I've
Yeah.
ever seen. And then I noted that young David Byrne looks like Cillian Murphy.
Literally my note. Literally my note.
And I was like, why is the stage not got a set? Like, why has it not been decorated? What's going on? It literally looks like they've purposely put like trash around the edge to make it look like
Messy.
Yeah, so there's like ladders and
Yeah.
mops and all shit around the edge.
Yeah, it looks unfinished.
Yeah.
The best way to put it.
So the fact that he starts with Psycho Killer, I'm like, oh, this is a banger. And then I realised it's just an acoustic version.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you this. I would have liked the full band version, Tim.
I would have liked the full band version too, but I feel like this is a really good version of it.
It's good, but I feels like there's other songs later on that would have benefited more from the solo acoustic.
That's fair.
Because Psycho Killer's quite intense, and it's got a lot to it. And
Yeah.
I don't know why you would choose this one to be the one with one instrument and one vocal.
I think it's just because I know on the original album they do have an acoustic version with it.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, well, we've done it before, just do it on stage. Because I think like
Sure.
obviously this album's more to promote. It's obviously more to promote speaking in tongues. So they're like, we want to save all that and have everyone available for that.
Yeah, I get it, but I like this song. I wanted to hear the normal version. And you know, I suppose that's why Tommaso Ciampa didn't come out, because it was just the acoustic version, right?
Also, what's very different about this compared to like other like concert movies, like they hold their shots on this one for like a really long time.
It genuinely looks. You said before this, you called it a movie, and it looks like a movie. It looks super staged, as in,
Yeah,
like it could be a scene in a film.
yeah,
It's ridiculously beautiful, like for what it is for a live concert movie. They've done. I've got notes for each song for different elements, but it is fantastic looking.
well, yeah, because they use the standard Panavision cameras that they would use for movies, and I think
Yeah.
also the benefit of this as well is they shot it over 4 days,
Yeah.
so they would able to frame anything, and if like they on one day a shot didn't work, they can try again the next day. So
Well,
they have lots
most-
to play with.
Most concert movies and even stand-up is recorded over at least 2 days, usually
Yeah.
3, because they want to get the best take of each one. Um, but what I will say, it's not just they obviously the choice of camera used, but also the choice of shots as well,
Yeah.
and then also the edit.
Yeah.
The edit at points is frantic, and at other points it's slower, and it just feels like it's been edited like a movie. So, like that piece of music is in a movie, and it's
Yeah.
yeah.
And like even like the way the show itself, like on the stage itself, there's almost like a narrative with it because as the song ends, David's like playing an outro, stumbling around the stage, and while that's happening, the crew comes out to set up Tina's equipment. So then they move on to the next song, which is Heaven, which is those two working together.
The stumbling around, I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?"
Yeah.
And like, I don't. Obviously, he's a bit weird and a bit wacky, but I was like, "This." They're meant to be quite cool. The Talking Heads. I was like, "This doesn't look cool. It looks like you're having a fit."
Oh no, this is what he's always been known for, David.
Okay, should we move on to
But
Heaven?
we're on Heaven now, which I wrote. He's obviously talking about the gay bar.
Oh yeah, that don't. I don't want to talk about it. I've been to that place, and of all the gay establishments I've been in, Tim, that one is nasty.
Yeah, no good words about Heaven.
Yeah, I will not talk about the stories that I've heard, that I know, and that I've experienced there on camera.
So what I love is just like again because it's just an acoustic guitar and a bass, you allow the bass to shine through.
Yes, she's a very good bassist. I did note the line, "Heaven is a place where nothing ever happens." It reminds me of a
Yeah.
Jim Jeffries joke where it's like, "I don't want to go to heaven. What happens when you go to heaven? All your dead relatives are there. You ever been to your nan's for the weekend? It's boring. This is eternity."
Yeah.
The other thing I've noticed here, this is the first time I really clocked it. It's obviously only the second song. There's two things I've got actually about this. One, the crowd are quiet. And I don't think
Yes.
that they are quiet. I don't think they're mic'd.
Yes, that is intentional, because you don't see the crowd properly until the final song.
I think it takes away from a live show though. I want to hear the crowd joining in.
Yeah, but I feel like for what they conceived for this was more if you're unable to watch us at the concert, we want you to have the experience that the crowd had, which is watching us, the Talking Heads, and also they're creating like a visual experience with it all. So I feel like they thought having shots of the crowd would detract from that.
I'm calling bullshit. The crowd can see and hear each other. What are you talking about? And the other thing is, just from someone who's done a bit of sound teching in the past, this is a sound technician's nightmare.
Yeah.
Bringing one instrument on at a time during the show.
Yeah.
Those poor sound techs must be like, "You want to do what now? Oh, okay. So if you move this slightly and knock it slightly, the mics are going to move." Excellent
Yeah.
news.
Yeah, because as this is happening, Chris's drums gets wheeled out, and you actually do hear the crowd like cheer for that because they know who's
Yeah.
coming out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't think. I think it's a very good idea to slowly build the set actually across. It
Yeah.
helps build a bit of a story. But my brain immediately went to the poor sound techs.
Yeah, that is like a nightmare.
Fucking waking nightmare. I bet you the sound tech, whoever was the sound tech on this show, still wakes up in sweats thinking about this show.
Like, no, please, not again. So after Heaven, we get "Thank You for Sending Me an Angel," and I just love how it just opens with a tracking shot of Chris just on the drums, and it goes like pans all the way around.
Yeah, it's stunning. And he does like a marching band intro, which I
Yeah.
love. When you can get something like that in, like no cymbals, no nothing else, just you and the snare boy, maybe the bass drum as well, I think
Yeah.
he uses. But the and you're like, yes, I love it.
And I just love it because like there's like a nice like it holds like a nice group shot of them together like for like the majority of the song, and just like they're just like having like a jamming session together.
Well, I've written here, this looks like a band practice because
Yeah.
of the background as well. Although I will say, and I don't know if I don't know anything about David Byrne. You can probably answer this more than I do. Does he have a bit of an ego? Because it feels like the rest of the band have less value than him by doing it the way they've done it. I.e., like, I'm out first, and then you come out.
Do you want the answer now or the answer when we get to Genius of Love?
Well, all right, I'll wait. You've obviously got a plan to talk about it, so we'll talk about it later.
You're on the money, though.
There's I also thought that the drummer looked like someone's old auntie, but that's not.
I think that's
hair.
the style of the 80s, you know?
It's the late 70s, early 80s, like coiffed hair for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it worked. It got him Tina, so.
Well, yeah, there is that. Are they still together? No.
Yeah, they're still married.
Good for them. Working together as well, man. Fuck yeah, they've done well.
Still married, still working together, actually, so.
Good for them.
Yeah. So then after that, while that song's going on, they get Jerry Harrison on the guitar out, and they do Found a Job, which so the song's obviously it's about a couple wanting to make a TV show because there's nothing good on TV. And
really?
It reminded me of that one Simpsons episode. It was like the fake documentary one where the idea is like they're interviewing the Simpsons cast.
Oh,
like, in universe.
behind the laughter.
Yeah, that one. That's what it reminded me of.
I've not seen that episode in ages. And then there's like they talk about having like a fake Lisa and stuff. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
I wrote about this song. Burns' chord changes while singing are smooth as fuck.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of chord, like there's not a lot of repetitive chording in this song. It's like bam, 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 change, and he's singing the entire time. But this song, I don't know what he doesn't do it in any other song, but there's a bit where he holds a note like Morrissey, like really nasally up there, and I'm like, oh, my skin is actually crawling.
What is it? The Jenny's in the bedroom.
Yeah, I think it was that bit. Yeah, I generally like my skin actually itched.
Well, that's the technique I got taught by my singing teacher. If you want to get a high pitch, but you're naturally in the lower register, you have to go nasally with it.
Well, it just sounded like Morrissey, and I was not keen. I've also put here, this is the first time I thought about it. I considered it. And I know a lot of live albums are done this way, or live performances are done this way. Is this actually the live recording of the audio? Because sometimes they go into a studio and redub it. It's so clean. Like, it's ridiculously clean.
Yeah, so I couldn't find any information on that, but what I will say is, listening to the live album itself, there are notable differences in the instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
Being they're more brought to the forefront compared to the movie.
Okay.
So I don't know if they like maybe took audio from different days and spliced it all together.
Maybe they thought the visuals on one day were better, but the audio separately was better from a different day.
Yeah.
Maybe because I know, like, even the Blink live album he's recorded in a studio. It's not real. I just like okay.
Because I will also say there are like some also like just vocal takes or like things David does that are done differently in the album.
Okay,
Like I'll mention it in a couple of songs, but it's very noticeable and it makes me go, oh, so maybe they just did grab a different take or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they must have done.
Also, I noted like, and just like towards the end of Found a Job, that David's suit was already so creased.
I think I put it in a later one because he changes a couple of times in a later suit. I'm like, bro's channeling Lee Evans. Fucking flop sweat in a suit.
And then we move on. Well, after this song, we get some different people joining the crew because we get the backup singers Lynn Mabry and Edna Holt.
They are also fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
I have unreal vocal range.
Genuinely. And then we also get percussionist Steve Scales. And this is when the curtain comes down and they do their first song from Speaking in Tongues, Slippery People.
Yes.
So the first thing I noted was their version of the chorus in this is shorter than the studio version.
Okay, yeah, again, I mean, you're one who's listened to this a few times. I didn't clock that because I've only listened to the album twice.
Yeah, so because in this version they go, "What's the matter with him? The Lord don't mind." But there's another line in between it usually in the studio version. I think it works better in this because it's more flowing.
Okay, maybe they thought that as well. Then clearly, to have removed it. There's a moment in this where the two backing singers dance with Burn, and it's so fucking weird. Like they're miming the guitar, but it looks
Yeah.
bizarre. I can't
It's
even
the way
like,
it's the way they're hunched over, I think.
yeah, it's like an over exaggerated like mime. It's
Yeah.
I was watching it again. What the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, honestly, it's crazy, but it's also just like I just love like seeing him interacting with everyone on stage.
Yeah, because they're all a bit like this weirdo.
Yeah. That he does his scatting on the mic again, and it just gets even weirder because now you can hear it like more compared to the studio version.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, these punchier for sure. Is it slightly different if I remember rightly as well?
Yeah, because he just I think he's just more improv in it now,
Like
rather than
legitimate
just going-
improv scat as opposed to a
Yeah.
set. Yeah,
I like how he goes into like more high ranges for the final chorus as well. He's just like having he's just having fun with it.
yeah. He's a very talented man, despite a lot of other things. Clearly,
Yeah. So at the end of this song, keyboardist Bernie Warnell and guitarist Alex Weir join. This is everyone now. The gang's all here.
God, it's a massive group altogether, isn't it?
And yep, and they do Burning Down the House.
They've got nearly as many people as Slipknot.
Yeah, they
So
do.
I've written here. There's a bunch of new people on stage. The guy who was playing the bongos in the last track is now playing guitar. I think. There's another new percussionist that's come on. So- and I actually said here, this still, because of the way it's filmed and you still don't see the crowds. Like this still feels like the best rehearsal ever.
Yeah.
It's an amazing, like, there's a point where this performance of Burning Down a House is fucking amazing. There's so
Yeah.
much energy, and it's genuinely outstanding.
Yeah.
But I had in my mind what you said at the end of our last episode, that this is considered the best concert movie ever, and I'm still like, despite the quality of the performance, I'm still like, what is it that people think about it? And I've started to kind of make mental notes here, and I'll talk about it at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because this, when A24 said they were re-releasing the movie, this was the song they uploaded to go, this is what we're doing.
I'm not surprised. This is why would you do any other song, I suppose?
Yeah. I like how David sings the song differently compared to the studio version. Because in the studio version, he goes, I'm an ordinary guy. But in this, it's like, I'm an ordinary guy. So he flows more with it rather than
Yeah.
like singing staccato.
Yeah, there's definitely like live recordings that I prefer to the original. And when I hear the original version and it's different, I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
There's a reason it was changed later.
Yeah. And like I like how you see like then like Jerry jumping around with the singers, like so you can see like everyone's interacting with everyone, so they're clearly like, all having fun together.
Yeah, definitely. It's very
And
good.
just the ending of the song with like David and Alex like, on the guitar just like matching each other's like high energy, like they're running on the spot while playing their guitars together.
Oh mate, I don't know where they get the energy from to do. Did they record this 4 nights in a row?
Yeah.
I'd be fucking dead.
Honestly, but it's spectacular. It's one of the best performances like live ever.
In terms of energy as well, the next song we're going to talk about, I can't believe how much they move in the next song.
Life during wartime.
Yeah, so they're running at the beginning. I think it's the backing singers and Burn, and it looks like they're doing like a dance cardio class.
Yeah.
And then he does like a bit of wobbly leg rock and roll. And then he like circles the drums at some point. I was like, where?
Yes.
What are you? How are you not dead? You've got to sing in a second.
Yeah, so the song opens where like all the people at the front, so the backup singers, David's, got her, Tina and Alex, they're all just running on the spot together. They sing their song, they sing the first verse, sing the chorus, and then probably one of the greatest like one shots of all time. It's my lock screen. It's David just doing this like wacky like limb flailing movements.
So weird. So weird.
He has no skeleton. He has no
No.
skeleton. That's the best way to
He's-
describe it.
He's a wacky, waving, inflatable, arm flailing tube man come to life.
That's the best way to describe it. And I just love like it. Then like during the instrumental break, they're running in place together. They synchronize it, so they do the lean forward together.
What's amazing is he still sings with more clarity in this than he does in the studio version.
Yeah,
And he's suit now. He's taken off the jacket. He's taken off everything. He's just got the shirt and the trousers, and it looks like pajamas now because it's
Yeah.
sweaty. It's creased.
yeah. It's like just grimy now.
Yeah,
And I
like
just thought like even when
singing is exhausting. Like I do
Yeah.
wrestling commentary, and by the end of it, I'm fucking knackered. I've done some wrestling commentary with wrestlers, and they've gone, "Oh my god, I'm tired." And these wrestlers are like cardio machines in general, like they should be. Otherwise, they're not going to be very good. And how is he running it? How is he running around the stage and then singing and then running around again?
Yeah, but what I love is so when he's running around the stage for the end of the song, you can tell they're clearly cutting between the different days he's done this because his positioning keeps changing in a way that's too erratic. But I think it's just to highlight like how yes, he did this all the time.
I think that might just be an editing choice to make it look erratic. Because obviously they kept the audio from one night flowing. You wouldn't
Yeah.
jump between the audio. So I think they've just gone, let's make this look as wacky and erratic as possible. And he just like teleports around the drums.
But it's just insane. But this is so the end of the song when he like starts to go, does anyone have any questions? That's a they have a different take of that in the album where he literally goes, we're gonna take a short break and we'll be right back.
Yeah, so obviously we get the cut to black here before they come back on, and we see
Yeah.
they've now got screens on the back as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you note down any of the words?
I didn't. There was about a million of them, and I wasn't pausing to note them down.
So I got onions, air conditioned, sandwich.
Was it like father, hero, patriarch? Oh, no,
Yeah.
that's a different
That's
song,
Christian
sorry.
Cage. Worked everyone.
Fucking goat. Absolute goat. Sorry.
But now we have another song from Speaking in Tongues. We have Making Flippy Floppy.
I actually didn't make any more notes on this because like they've all changed. So there's clearly
Yeah.
there's part of the break, but the song feels very similar to the album version.
Yeah, this one there's not really much to say. I just I liked the use of like lighting and shadows now. They
The silhouetting's
everything's- yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
everything
they
is
use the
changing in how they've sent it.
I think on Swamp they use the silhouetting better.
Oh yeah. Which is actually the next song. I love the bit where he's like lying down and he like just sits up like directly into the camera looking possessed.
Oh, that's in Swamp, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I've put it. Yeah, they use a red screen to make a really cool silhouette, and then he does
Yeah.
an Undertaker sit up, and he looks sort of past the camera,
Yeah.
which I think is the right move in this. Because if he'd have looked down the barrel of the camera, that would have because he's millimeters from doing it. His eyes are
Yeah.
just off. I was like, if you look down the barrel of the camera, you've changed the vibe completely to
Yeah,
performing
like he
to the
looks
camera.
just above the camera. Which
Yeah,
I
yeah.
find. I wrote he looks like a possessed Kermit the Frog when he's like sat down singing.
He does. He does. He's late for his job at Budgeon's. It's a deep cut for you. Figure it out.
Yeah. I like when they're doing like that chorus when they go hi hi hi, they're walking in place and there's a moment where the camera tracks towards him so it looks like he's marching towards the camera.
Yes. I put here, actually, it wouldn't have been a hard thing for them to do pickups when there was no crowd
Yeah.
because of the way they've shot it. So because they shoot it without, you barely see any crowd or crowd movement, they could have, if they weren't happy with, say, him doing that sit-up, they could have just redone
Yeah.
it. Like, there could be 10 takes of that. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I like the bit like for the third verse where he's like stumbling around the stage and he does this weird thing where he makes it look like his like legs are broken.
Yeah, this felt a bit odd. Like putting on a limp.
Yeah.
Is he looking for that blue badge? I don't know.
Again, it's just a David Byrne thing. He just likes to act erratic like this.
It's what this made me feel like is this is a stunning performance. The whole song, the energy, such a good performance, right? But because they haven't mic'd the crowd, it feels like the crowd aren't giving them anything.
Yeah.
And again, sorry to jump back to wrestling again, but when it's something that we both know very well, and I can kind of break down in a way. When there's something amazing going on in a wrestling ring and the crowd give it nothing, it's like, what the fuck are you lot watching?
Yeah.
I'm sure the crowd are going mental in this, but because they're not mic'd, it feels like the crowd are going, okay, next.
Yeah.
I actually think not hearing the crowd, even if you just faded them up at the end of every song and then faded them back down, I think
Yeah.
it loses something because it feels like the crowd are not reacting.
Yeah, I get that. I think for me, it's just I just like enjoy watching like the visual performance of it. So for me, it's like I'm just enjoying it so much. I don't care if the crowd is
Yeah,
there or not.
I'll tell you what I would like. What my idea would have been is that they could have, in theory, just gone to an empty warehouse, started like do performances, and actually made it a movie. As in,
Yeah.
they shoot it like a movie, have like the backdrop appear around them, build up, done the exact same thing, but in like a 3D space as opposed to a stage space,
Yeah.
and then the lack of audience wouldn't feel weird. It would feel like, and then you could also do little skits with it as well if they wanted to, because David Byrne's a
Yeah.
bit odd. I don't know. That's how maybe I would have. If I was going to propose that you didn't hear the crowd, I would have said, let's not have a crowd then.
Yeah, I get that. But then we cut to, because it literally is hard cuts to what day that was.
Love the uplighting straight away.
Yeah.
David Byrne gets uplit like an old horror movie, and it's cool. And this is like less like an odd choice, maybe not an odd choice, but it's a choice of song to do that kind of thing on, because this feels like more of a straight up rock jam
Yeah.
as opposed to kind of the synthy experimental stuff. But yeah, it's cool. I actually quite like this song. I actually quite like this song. This obviously isn't on the album we listened to, and I was like, okay, I might actually have to go find the album version of this. And I think the edit helps as well, because it's like super frantic, all tight shots,
Yeah.
all kind of close-ups, and even kind of almost extreme close-ups in some parts. And it's frantic and it's cool, and then the backing singers are back, and it's really great.
Yeah, it's honestly just incredible like to watch. But what I love is like because they cut between close-ups and wide shots, and on the close-ups you can see like David's head like has the middle part in, it's like kind of spiked up, but then when it's the wide shots his hair slicks back.
From a different
Yeah, so you can tell
one, obviously.
they're doing the different days, but again it's just using the same audio track.
Yeah. Bro looks like, this is where I said bro looks like Lee Evans, like the sweaty suit.
Just a sweat, yeah. I love like towards the end, so he just like a weird like manic screaming on the mic.
I wonder if, I got this feeling that David Byrne sometimes does stuff that the band don't know is coming. Like they're just like performing in front of an audience, then he'll just start, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, it does really give that vibe that like he's like, going, this is my band, I'm gonna do my thing, and everyone's go, okay,
Yeah.
David, please stop. But it's I find this to be just like a lot of fun, and as you said, the backup singers in the song just incredible.
Yeah, they're unreal. I hope they went on to have like a lucrative career of their own. Like, they are fucking fantastic.
Yeah. But then we cut to another song from Speaking in Tongues. This Must Be the Place. So I like the use of the lamp to illuminate the stage, and how the whole crowd just like gathered around, not the crowd, the whole band is like gathered around it to make the song feel more intimate.
Yeah, everyone in your nanny's flat playing the slowest song on the set. Let's go.
But
This
what
is
I
like
love is,
this feels like the recovery song. A bit like,
yeah.
we all need a little break. Let's have a little dance in front of the lamp.
But what I love is Alex on the guitar. He's like doing a lot of movement with it. I was like, this is not the song for that. Please calm down.
One thing I noticed is the bass player, she's now got a guitar. But I can still
Yes.
hear a bass line, but I cannot see a bass.
It could be one of the people on the rafters behind.
Yeah. I just couldn't see a bass anywhere.
It could be Jerry on the bass. But what I love as well is like towards the end, David just dancing with the lamp. But he gets so into it, he misses his cue to do the final woo at the end. So he has to solo back on, oh shit.
Yeah, proper like doing the little tricks with the base of the lamp, making it pop back up and stuff. And then he's like,
Yeah.
oh wait, I'm having too much fun. I almost made out with this lamp, and I almost missed my cue.
Like I almost burnt my lips on this lamp. Damn it. So this was actually released as a single to promote the live album years ago, like when it originally came out.
Okay.
And the cover was all of them gathered around the lamp together. It was actually this and Girlfriend Is Better that was put on the single.
Okay. Quite a good shot to use for promotional material.
Yeah, and I think as well, I think this version is better than the studio version simply because the backup singers, they add so much to it. Even
Yeah.
though they even though they're not really doing much, they do more than what the studio version
On a
is.
slow song like this, having depth to the vocals is important, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those who just bring it for this. Well, they bring it for the entire show, but for this song as well, it just adds a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree.
So then it cuts to Once in a Lifetime, which I think that is a song that does get referenced a lot, especially some of the lines.
I
do.
think this is the one that's permeated pop culture more. Only the one I can think of more than "Burning Down the House" is this song.
Yeah. Because it's mainly the, you may ask yourself, like
Yeah.
that.
You may find
those
yourself
lines.
in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife. I know, like straight away, the first few
Yeah.
notes, I was like, I know what this is.
So, because I've watched this film quite a lot. On my second viewing, when I got to this song, I noticed there's only 4 shots for this song.
Yeah, it slows down, doesn't it?
Yeah, and most of those shots, like the majority of the song, is just a long shot of David.
Yeah. Well, he's almost like a monologue as opposed to actual like vocals, isn't it? So
Yeah. So he looks like Robert Carlyle in this with the glasses and the way like the lighting's on him.
I thought I was like, he's gone full Clark Kent. Like he looks like a different person.
Yeah. This, I mean, this song is iconic for like all the right reasons. I think it's a really good song, even though it's insane and he's really just talking about nothing.
Why is he hitting
All just
himself?
works together.
Like between every same as it ever was, he goes and that hits himself in the head. What are you doing, bruv?
He's glitching out, obviously, because then he gets a shake straight after he does that.
I always thought this song was about like the passage of time. Like
Yeah.
you just like what it says, like you find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife. It's like, how did I get here? It's like, is it because like the idea that time has just gone like that? Like
Yeah.
they feel like, oh, wasn't I just like single and in a pub? Oh no, wait, that was
Yeah.
15 years ago.
And it's just like, well, also because like letting the days go by as well, like lines like that, like your days
Yeah.
are just going by and you're just like not really stopping to think about it.
I like this song. This song is a jam.
It's really good. Like honestly, it's iconic.
Yeah.
Like the studio version is iconic. It's obviously referenced a lot to the point that you remembered it.
Oh yeah, not just remembered it. I've heard the song a ton of times. Like I know the song.
So, did you hear it in your back in your like shop days?
Oh, 100%. This is the one that would it's either this or Burning Down the House. It's always put on like the 80s compilations, the 70s compilations.
Yeah.
Back then, the dad rock compilations, which are now just filled with my music. So let's not talk about that. Fucking Blink 182 on dad rock.
Ugh. I also like how like in the chorus he puts his arms up like that, like he's a preacher.
Yes,
He's going like
yeah.
that, like he's delivering a sermon.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's a monologue, isn't it? So it probably feels a bit
Yeah.
like it.
And like even towards the end, like in the final chorus, he's like starts speaking in tongues. He's like babbling like on the mic as the backup singers are like singing "Let the Days Go By."
Yeah, bro's got a Messiah complex, doesn't he?
He does. But next we have not Talking Heads. We have Tom Tom Club.
No, see, I recognised this song, and I was like, this isn't the Talking Heads. This is different. So I actually went and looked. This is the only thing I went and looked up outside of watching it. I was like, I knew this was different. And I've heard the song. I don't know where I've heard it. I've heard it a couple of times because I recognised it. But I didn't realise that it was obviously by, essentially, the Talking Heads minus Burn. Like,
So this is Tina and Chris's band, Tom Tom Club.
yeah.
Alex Weir, who's the guitarist in this, he used to be a member of the band. I believe he was at that moment in time.
Yeah.
So this was like their side project, and now it's been their mainline project ever since Talking Heads disbanded. David Byrne didn't like them at the time, and still doesn't like them because he found them to be too commercial.
They're trying to make some money. Damn.
No, he didn't like the commercial styling of their music. because obviously Talking Heads very artistic or like what people
Yeah.
say pretentious. You can use those words. He didn't like the commercial route that they took with Tom Tom Club.
Well, I'm sorry, David Byrne. This is a good song.
I was also want to say, so this is something I got told by my friend. I couldn't find anything to verify this. So this song is used obviously as a bridge to hold between Once in a Lifetime and the next song, because we'll get to the moment, we'll get to the reveal. Apparently, David wasn't happy that this was featured in the movie because it's not Talking Heads.
Yeah, because he's not centre stage.
Yeah, so that's what I've been told. I couldn't find anything up to verify this, but I would believe it.
Yeah, I can believe it as well. After just there's something very even just from this performance, you could tell there's something quite egotistical about the man.
Yeah, but I will say this is a great song.
Yeah, the one thing I will say, the drummer started talking. Is he allowed to do that? Drummers aren't allowed to talk.
Be like Travis and never talk again.
We get some proper epilepsy lights at some point as well.
Oh
so,
yeah, the strobe lighting. I saw this in the cinema with my friend a week after he had the concussion.
not a good idea.
Yeah, he wasn't enjoying that.
Cover your eyes. The other thing I've noticed is why is the drummer just shouting Dave Brown at the end? I don't.
Yeah,
okay.
James Brown, because he's the Godfather of Soul.
James Brown, sorry, Dave Brown. What am I talking about? I've seen James Brown live. He was very good. He supported the Red Hot Chili Peppers at Hyde Park. It was ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, and NERD. It was a ridiculous show.
But yeah, I think it just should like shows like personality of the other band members as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and like just like the movement of it all, because with Tina like doing the freeze and then like jumping in place, like doing a little crab dance, just shows
Crab
like
dance
more
is
of her
so
personality.
bizarre.
And also getting to hear Tina's vocals as well, which are actually pretty like nice.
Yeah, they are good. She's a very good singer.
Yeah, so like I actually did end up listening to some Tom Tom Club after. Like I find a lot of their music isn't for me, but I can respect what they were doing, kind of thing. Yeah, I think you have to be in the right mood to listen to it, kind of thing.
Would you recommend?
Yeah, I'd recommend. I think he's enjoying.
Yeah, I'll have to give it a listen. I have to put together a little playlist of 80s synth stuff and see if they fit in.
Yeah, I feel like they would.
Yeah.
But now we see what that break was for. Why did David have to go off stage for 5 minutes?
To put on a fat suit with fucking massive shoulders.
To put on the giant suit, which is actually what was used, obviously, for the promotion of this movie.
So weird. I didn't like it. Almost straight away I went, I don't like this suit. It's weird.
So he actually based it off Japanese no theatre.
Okay.
Because in that style of theatre, they do wear over like exaggerated clothing, like massive like costumes, and that's what he was inspired by for this. No idea why. There was no reason for it for this song. He just decided to do it.
That's fair. I think I've noticed about this is one, obviously I didn't love the song first time around, but
Yeah.
they also don't use a lot of the... So throughout this thing, I feel like they've used like a lot of cinematography, a lot of filming tricks, a lot of editing tricks. This is the most basic song in terms of production and how it's presented.
Yeah.
Presentation. Presentation would probably be the word I was looking for.
I think it was more because it like, let's just let the suit do all the work for us. It's like, if you like the suit, then you're going to enjoy this bit. If you don't like the suit, you're not going to really enjoy. I don't know. The suit grows on me. I think it's.
It grew on him as well.
Yeah. Well, no, he shrunk.
Oh yeah.
I will say this version of Girlfriend is Better has a faster pace as well.
Yeah, it's definitely less. I don't know how to describe it without using the word boring, but less boring than the studio version.
Yeah, I do prefer this version. Like, just like, even like if I listen to it, I prefer this version.
Yeah, for sure. This is a better version. I still got, in terms of the actual song structure, I've still got nothing more to say about it. It is still a loop, and it's still pretty much the same all the way through, but it's a better version. If you were to make me listen to a version of this song, it would be this version.
Yeah. I mean, this is the version of it I do listen to. My I do like how there's a bit where he goes, "Stop making sense," and then he gets like the lighting rigger, like he's just go around lighting everyone to go sing it as
Oh
well.
yeah. Well, it's funny that they chose to name this song isn't hugely played on the Spotify either. It's funny
Yeah.
that they chose to use a line from this song to name the movie after.
They actually also, it's funny you mention that because in to like celebrate this film, A24 got a bunch of artists to do a tribute album. So like they would do every artist would do one song from the list. It had Miley Cyrus, it had Lord, it had Paramore, and a bunch of others. And the album is called "Everyone's Getting Involved," which is another line from the song.
That's good. I like that. There's
If you if
go
you're
on. Sorry,
interested, Paramore did "Burning Down the House."
that I am interested now because they did burning down the house.
And it's really good.
Right, there is in a similar vein that I'm looking it up right now. Sorry if you're listening to this because this is going to be really boring to listen to. But what's it called? There is two of them. There are two Blink-182 tribute albums. Oh, they're literally called a tribute to Blink-182. That's boring. But there's two of them. There's part one and part two. And it's the same thing. It's other pop punk bands playing Blink songs. And then
Okay.
all the money. I think it was for charity, if I remember
Oh,
rightly.
that's really cool. Because they did that with Ronnie James Dio as well. It's called, I think it's called Ronnie James Dio, This Is Your Life. And they got like a bunch of like metal artists to cover his songs.
Was that after he
including
passed away?
Yeah, because it was for his charity.
Oh yeah.
I think it's for his charity against like cancer. And it had like Corey Taylor on there, Tenacious D, Metallica.
We don't
So-
talk about Tenacious D. Jack Black, that turncoat, leaving his friend.
30 years of friendship, throw down the drain over a joke.
Oh, I know. I mean, we don't know the ins and outs of it yet, but fuck me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get it. You want to voice a panda.
So there's also like another when I mentioned how the album version of this has a different audio take. So there's a bit when you go stop making sense. When in the album, one of the stage for the last one, he just points to the camera and lets it linger. In the studio, it's him saying stop making sense again, and he does like a weird like vocals like erratic screaming again, but that's not in the album version. I mean
No.
the film version.
Funny. Yeah.
So
It sounds like they not only they gave like the mixes to or the recordings to a proper sound technician, but you do the album, you Mr. Video Editor, you do the video.
So what's actually interesting is Jerry Harrison, the guitarist, actually did work on the mixing.
Oh really?
Yeah.
He did a good job. The mixing is better than the studio album.
Yeah. So after that, the lights go blue, and we have "Take Me to the River."
I recognised this song straight away, and I was like, "But why do I know it? This is not this version." And it's an Al Green song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like. It's a very good performance of it, and I like the way everything's like tinted blue now, and that he's
Yeah.
taken the fucking jacket off.
Yeah, thank God. But what I love is because then later in the set for the song, he puts on a red cap. He looked like Trump.
And it's orange. I've written down it as orange. I thought he looked like Dad taking his kid fishing in a movie.
Especially because he has his hands on his hips throughout the song as well.
Yeah, and he's like, it's like a proper beaten up baseball cap.
Yeah. But I love the song. I think it's phenomenal.
It's like just a great bit of like top notch 70s soul. It's so good.
Yeah. And halfway through the song, he introduces the band to the crowd.
Well, they finally get a look in, do they, David?
Yeah. Sorry, I just thought of another egotistical David.
Yeah, we know one of those.
Yeah, but I love also. There's like a long break where him and Alex is like scatting on the mic as well. They're like doing like a weird little back and forth. The reverb is like cranked up for it as well.
Yes, this is another part where I thought this feels like a studio record rather than a live. Because to get that come out that well live,
Yeah.
that's difficult.
But I feel like that might be like on the final night
Yeah,
when they
maybe.
finally got it.
They're like crossing
Like,
their
it was-
fingers, going, "We'll get it this time, right?"
Yeah. I love the bit where like Steve, one of the percussionist, just like grabs the mic off David and like tries to hype up the crowd.
David stares at him like, "Touch my mic again, I'm going to fucking kill you."
You're fired. And then we get to the final song, Cross-Eyed and Painless, and David finally gets a guitar again.
Oh, it's a Gibson SG as well. It's a thing of beauty. Plain wood colouring.
Yeah.
It's a lovely guitar.
And like it's just a fast-paced, insane song.
Yeah, again, this one's got like low production value in terms of
Yeah.
the cinematography and stuff. It's just them going for it. It feels like these last few songs are just like, okay, let's just show you what you can do. Maybe
Yeah.
this is like, I know we at the end of this song we do get some crowd shots, but maybe for those
Yeah.
last three where the cinematography was less, that's when you bring the crowd noise up for the whole three of them.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to focus heavily on making it look like a movie, just bring the crowd noise in.
Yeah. I agree to that. But like Alex's insane like guitar solo.
Yeah, talented.
Thing of beauty.
Yeah, good. Amazing work. Like, it felt like this is finally like end of the gig. He's got his chance to really fucking shine.
And he goes for it.
Yeah. He's like, I will not miss my fucking shot.
Like you mentioned with the cinematography, there's like moments like the camera's like weaving in and out of like all the band members trying to catch them all on stage, like in one
yeah.
take.
It is very cool. But in terms of like, that's cool. It's a cool shot, but it's not. It doesn't feel like they're trying to make a movie anymore. It feels like they're just having fun.
Yeah, I figure like at that moment it's like, okay, we've done all that like hard stuff now. Let's just have fun. Everyone's here to have fun. Get shit to the crowd now. Go, go, go.
What's funny about this bit is you say, oh yeah, we get the crowd clips of them dancing, and we do, but they still don't put the sound in for the crowd.
Yeah.
So there's this really clean, crisp audio that almost sounds like a studio record with just people dancing in a live crowd.
Yeah. It's like they're doing like a silent disco.
Yeah, proper. Yeah.
But I just like love it's on when they're going, I'm still waiting. Just have like David's like, yeah, being a maniac again.
Yeah, he's definitely got a screw loose, hasn't he? Is he still
Well-
around?
David, but oh yeah, he does solo stuff as well.
Yeah. Is he still nuts?
Yeah, yeah, he is. The crew comes on stage. David like says, "We'd like to thank our crew." Like, yeah, you better for the hell you put them through.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That poor sound technician.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there was one guy at the main desk going, fuck this.
But that was Stop Making Sense.
Yeah. Overall, I liked it. I did. It was entertaining. It was beautifully shot. As a piece of cinema, it's great. And I think the reason it's so highly acclaimed isn't just, and don't get me wrong, they perform amazingly, but if it was just shot like a normal concert would it be considered one of the top? I think the thing that gives it that edge, that people make it, is the creativity of the director and the editor. I think they bring a new level to this to make it feel like a piece of cinema as opposed to a concert,
Yeah,
like a live
absolutely.
concert. And I think the reason, and sorry, David Byrne, you probably can't take credit for this, the reason it's so lauded isn't because of the performance. And it's an amazing performance, but most, like, you wouldn't release a concert DVD that wasn't an amazing performance.
Yeah,
Like, you'd give your best, right? The reason it's so lauded is because it's so creative.
yeah. I mean, I would want to say that David Byrne did have a massive hand in this.
So you get a Hollywood level director, and then you let David Byrne put in his 2 cents.
I think it was more like a collaborative process,
Okay.
more rather than a director going, "This is what I envision." David's like going, "Okay, I want to work with you on this, so that we can like figure out like I will manage like all the stage stuff and like how we'll act, and then you will work with your camera crew to figure out how to film it, and then we'll like figure out how we make it work."
But so that's why I mean David can't get credit for it. Because if you just did that performance and had a hard cam, one camera, it would be great, right? It'd be an amazing
Yeah.
performance, including, the sit-ups, the underlighting, all amazing, right?
Yeah.
But it isn't what it is without the cinematography, without the tight shots, without
Oh no, absolutely. And I feel like a lot of it. That's why like well, like considering like we've talked about Coachella and we've talked about Real Big Fish, we never really spoke much about the camera work. This, it's I would say the camera work is like one of the big parts of it, but also I'd say
100.
there's almost a weird narrative with the film in the sense that like the first third is the band coming together. Second third is we're just going to play the big hits right now, play our like speaking in tongues stuff and the stuff you want to hear. Then the third one's like now we're just going to have fun.
Yeah.
So there is like
I
an almost sort of like meta narrative in there.
the last 3 or 4 songs definitely feels more like regular event filming, or closer
Yeah.
to anyway. It's still not as basic as some of it can be.
Yeah.
Not that, I mean, you're talking to the 80s. I mean, now you have big sweeping fucking cameras on cranes and stuff.
Yeah, you get
Which you
drone
do.
shots.
Yeah, but I think generally the thing that makes this special and the thing that helps it jump out and be visible is that it's not the performance necessarily.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Again, I say it again. The performance is great. It's fantastic. But would this film be lauded above other live concerts if it wasn't for that? No, I don't.
No,
think it would.
absolutely. Yeah. No, I can agree to that. But I think it's a nice combination of everything together.
Yeah, yeah. As an artistic piece for everything, it's great.
Yeah.
One thing I will say is, and I don't know if they just cut it out. No chit chat. They don't talk to the audience.
Yeah, that I think I don't know if they cut it. Yeah, again, I don't know if they cut it out. It's not on the album. It's not there. So maybe there was like some in between stuff to fill time.
I feel like chit chat, especially with a band with multiple singers and they can talk to each other and talk to the audience,
Yeah.
gives you some of the band's character,
Yeah,
like the individual personalities of the band members, and I think that is missing from this. What the making it feel like an amazing, awesome looking movie adds takes away some other stuff, which I think is that.
yeah, I can agree to that.
Yeah. I still enjoyed it, Tim. I'm just
Yeah.
putting on my critical hat.
No,
I've actually got on my Star Wars hat, but
no, I can completely agree with that. I think if you look at it from a concert point of view, yeah, there's that stuff that's missing, and I did notice that when I first watched. It's like, oh, it'd be nice to see them interact. But
Yeah.
if you're looking at it as a film,
a stunning
I
piece of
think,
work.
yeah, stunning piece of work. And I think it's that kind of thing. Like, what do you look at this as? Do you look at it as a concert or do you look at it as a film?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the only I listed a few more big concept movies, and the only one that comes close to this in terms of how it's done is the Pink Floyd live in Pompeii. But they've got no audience. It's them in a circle playing in
Yeah.
the ruins in Pompeii, and I think it's in a similar way. They've also got like bits between where they're doing fucking like riding on horses and shit. I think is that one? But it's crazy, right? And
Yeah.
it's weird that it feels more like that with no audience than it does, say, Nirvana Unplugged or Live at Reading. Like, because
Yeah.
there's an audience. Or, like, the Beyonce Homecoming one was huge. Like,
Yeah.
the concept movie for that was... It done crazy numbers. And then you got stuff
I
like
mean-
Springsteen on Broadway, which is a recent one, where he tells, like, his life story from his autobiography between the songs.
Yeah. But I was going to say, like, there's also the most recent example of a huge concert movie, Taylor Swift's Era one.
Oh, she can fuck off.
Yeah, no, look, personal feelings aside, that movie is so big that they released the concert movie while the tour was still ongoing.
Which is insane. 'Cause
Still ongoing, and it's insane.
which is they normally wouldn't do that just to not affect ticket numbers, because like sometimes the parents can be like, I can't afford to take you,
Yeah.
but here's this DVD, whereas if there was no DVD they might be like, okay, we'll try to scrimp, we'll try to get you there, whatever. And it's the same reason like football doesn't get played on TV at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, because they want people to go,
yeah.
so the 3 o'clock kickoffs don't get put on television. It's insane. What
Could I just speak how insane the Taylor Swift one is? In my workplace, we were polling people for this, and the poll was who's going to watch. Because at the time that it released and the movie released, she hadn't got to the UK yet. So the question was who's going to see the movie, and then like a lot of people put their hands up. It's like, and are you going to go? And who's going to go see her live? Same people get their hands up.
just the same audience, yeah.
Yeah, that's insane to me in the sense, but I mean, I can't speak for the quality of the movie. I haven't seen it, and I have no
It's-
intention to.
I have no ill faith against her. She writes decent pop jams, right? She does. They're catchy, they're decent. I don't get the like mania behind it. It's not that good. It's just good pop. It's not outstanding, but
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
that's
get it.
So I have
It's
listened to a
it's the
couple of her
fans that annoy
albums.
me.
Yeah. I've listened to a couple of her albums because it's like, okay, what is it? What is it about her? I would say the singles that she puts out, I can see why they get airtime. They're good. They're catchy. They have good hooks. But the album songs, no, those can fuck right off.
I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but that is my opinion on the Foo Fighters as well.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I think their singles are incredible, but their albums, nah.
But see,
They let-
Nickelback, they're forever.
Nickelback are trash. Get out of here.
I will never take the Nickelback slander.
Yeah, the only other concert film that I think is like that. I was like, okay, what other ones are creative? And there's one by the Beastie Boys called "Also I Fucking Shot That," which is they gave 100 fans little cine cams,
Yeah.
not cine cams, little handheld camcorders, and it's all just sewn together footage from those.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, so all the shots are from in the crowd, and obviously they recorded the audio properly,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
done an edit, and that is cool. Yeah.
That reminds me of like ECWB shows where they get the fan cams instead of the official
Oh yeah,
cameras.
yeah. Unwatchable, fucking unwatchable. I've tried.
So that's Talking Heads, and you
Can I just
asked about David's ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, the band, they don't work with each other anymore.
Because of David's ego.
So, yeah, they all hate each other, except for Tina and Chris. They're still together, happily married, still going on. So, yeah, they hate David, and David hates them. The main feud, apparently, was David and Tina. Those were the two that clashed the most.
Well, you can tell she's got a lot of creativity that he probably didn't take any of her.
Yeah, well, considering
Stuff
that he
on board.
didn't like the Tom Tom Club stuff because it was too
Yeah.
commercial, I think that
Yeah.
it was always going to come to a head. It even got to the point where Chris, Tina, and Jerry, they made their own band. I forgot the name of it, but they made one album called All Talking, No Head. Yeah,
I fucking love that. That's so petty. It's beautiful.
David was not happy about that. Basically, got them to disband that band immediately once the album came out. Basically, being like, "Fuck you, you're not allowed to do this."
Can I just point out something that only the people on YouTube will be able to appreciate? Or unless you watch this on the Spotify. I've never tried that. I don't know how it works. We're talking about the Talking Heads, and we are shot as Talking Heads, Tim. Come on. Look.
So yeah, so when this was being promoted for the re-release, the
Yeah.
actual release, they were obviously on the red carpet together talking, and I've never seen a more tense environment in my life.
They're like, yeah, we want the money, but we don't want to talk to each other.
Yeah, David described it as being like when the band broke up, it's like going through a divorce with someone who hates your fucking guts. So, but the thing is, everyone like saw them together again. Like, oh, we can get like a Talking Heads reunion tour, and like actual like people like who were in the know were going, never, you'll never see them interact again.
Do you think they can spend any time together? Don't be fucking stupid.
Yeah, they only did this for money.
Cashola. Yes. So much for your commercialism, David Byrne. Take your money.
But yeah, that was Talking Heads. That will stop making sense. I'm glad you were a fan of both the album and the movie.
Yes, it was very cool. Good suggestion, Tim.
I finally did an artist that wasn't rock or metal.
They're still a bit rocky.
Yeah, but you know, they're not like the emo depressing. You don't have any
No, yeah.
screamos.
I have thought about dropping a hip hop one soon. I don't know when, sometime. We'll do hip hop at some point. My other great love.
But until then, what is my recommended reading?
Now, Tim, I've got a question for you. And how you answer it is you're going to really give an insight into the next episode.
Okay.
Tim, who loves orange soda?
Kel loves orange soda.
Is it true?
Oh god. Oh, it's true. It's true.
No. I do.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing Keenan and Kel.
Woo!
Fucking Nickelodeon OGs. Oh, you're. By the way, I'm just looking at you on the camera. You've led to one side, and I think you're going to cut yourself out of our edit box.
Oh, it's fine. I'm. The camera will follow.
Right. Yes, we're going to do Keenan and Kel, and I am really looking forward to this. Another. I know I did Nickelodeon last time, but that was a cartoon, and fuck you, I like Nickelodeon. Okay. We are going to watch 4 episodes of Keenan and Kel, 20-minuters, hour 20 total. Let's do it. I couldn't decide on what for. It was taking me a while. I was looking at the episodes. I did a
Is that all
rewatch
too
of
good?
Keenan. I did a rewatch of Keenan and Kel. Yeah, there's 2. Don't get me wrong, there are some not great episodes, but there's 2. But there's a lot of good episodes. And I did a rewatch of Keenan and Kel in lockdown. Fucking love Keenan and Kel. Right, so we're going to do 4 episodes. I thought about doing the first episode, but I think most people all know Keenan and Kel, at least vaguely, so we don't need to do an intro thingy. But we are going to do episode 2, because it's one of the big one. It's called The Tainting of the Screw, which is an iconic moment in this. That episode, we'll go over it next time. With that Series 1, Episode 2. Series 2, Episode 4, Ditch Day Afternoon, we're going to do that one.
Cool.
Series 2, Episode 7 is called Who Loves Orange Soda? Because we had to do that one, obviously. And Series 3, Episode 8, IQ Can Do Better.
Cool.
So they're the 4 episodes we're going to cover. It's all on Paramount Plus at the minute. And if you want to join in, you can get a free week of Paramount Plus at the minute.
Oh, nice.
So sign up. You have to put in your payment options, but then just go straight into cancel your subscription. And you still get the full week for free. Enjoy.
I am looking forward to this. I'm surprised you didn't go for the Good Burger movie, though, but...
It's not as good as the Keenan and Kel show.
No, but we have a second Good Burger movie as well.
It doesn't sit in the same place in my heart that the TV show does.
That's fair. I just love me some Keenan Thompson because, SNL.
Yeah, he's a good lad. And he's a duck. And ducks fly together.
Oh, God, yeah, he was in Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, he's in 2 and 3.
Oh, God, yeah, he was.
In fact, Keenan Thompson went on, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel recently, and he was part of the reveal for the new Ducks jersey. And it said his character name on the back of the jersey. So the brand new Ducks jersey for the new season, they've released a new logo, which is the old logo but slightly redone. And yeah.
All right, it all comes full circle on this podcast.
It does.
All right, Bobby, where can they find you on the socials?
bdavies_creative on the Instagram and on the Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it.
And you can find me at the Tim Martini on the Instagram, the X, the TikTok, wherever social media there is, you can find me.
Oh, I'm on the TikTok as well, yeah. Find me there.
And if you want to find the podcast, we're on all social platforms at CC Society Pod.
Or just look up Cult Classic Society. Woo!
Exactly. And of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, you haven't subscribed yet, what the hell are you doing? Press the subscribe button and press that little bell to get the notification when we upload episodes. We upload once every 2 weeks. So, we're on a schedule, but sometimes life is busy and you want to get notified about it. Just remember that. And also, if you're on Spotify, subscribe to us on there. And also, just give us a review. It truly does help out.
Yeah, please do.
And until then, I've been Tim Martini.
And you may find yourself listening to a pop culture nostalgia podcast. And you may find yourself enjoying that podcast and giving it a cheeky 5-star review or a subscribe. And you may find yourself thinking, I quite like the beardy one, but the other one's a bit weird. And you may ask yourself, how did I get here?
See you guys next time.